The Office of Sponsored Programs and Research Administration Institutional Review Board Training Presentation. What is an IRB and what does it do? OSPRA's mission statement reads as such. The role of the Office of Sponsored Programs and Research Administration, OSPRA, is to support faculty, staff, and students in the acquisition and administration of externally funded projects and programs, the ethical conduct of research, and the development of internal and exterior research collaborations to advance the mission of Valdosta State University. What is our purpose? OSPRA's purpose is to protect the integrity and standing of the institution, faculty, staff, and students by guarding and maintaining research compliance, federal, state, local, and institutional mandates and regulations, guidelines, and policies. What is the IRB? IRB is an acronym for Institutional Review Board. Found in Part 45, Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, Chapter 46, Paragraph 112, the IRB is a federally mandated body established to protect the rights and welfare of human research participants. The IRB committee is a diverse group of VSU faculty, staff, and community members. The term IRB is an umbrella term of sorts referring to the IRB committee and the IRB administrator. What is human subjects research? Research is a systematic investigation, including research development, testing, and evaluation, designed to develop or contribute to generalizable knowledge. Human subject is defined as a living individual, about whom an investigator conducting research obtains data through intervention or interaction with the individual or identifiable private information. How is minimal risk defined? According to the CFR, minimal risk means that the probability and magnitude of harm or discomfort anticipated in the research are not greater in and of themselves than those ordinarily encountered in daily life, or during performance of routine physical or psychological examinations or tests. Research studies conducted at VSU may involve no more than minimal risk. Now we will consider types of protocol. What is protocol review? Well, exempt is where a review is conducted and approval is issued by the IRB administrator. Once all information is on file, turnaround time is 5 to 7 working days. Expedited is where the initial review is conducted by IRB administration. Final review is then conducted and approval is issued by 2 members of the IRB committee. The turnaround time is 10 to 12 working days for expedited. Protocols requiring full review are vetted by the entire IRB and discussed at a convened meeting. IRB approval cannot be given retroactively. When in doubt, submit an IRB application. Protocol review number 1. Exempt. Exempt does not mean the study is exempt from submitting an IRB for review. Exempt refers to how or by whom the protocol is reviewed and approved. Exempt research may not involve minors, vulnerable populations, matters sensitive in nature, alcohol or drug studies, etc. They also present no more than minimal risk. Exempt research must not collect identifiable participant information, or PII. Examples of PII that must not be collected for exempt research include names, birth dates, student IDs, signatures, voice, images, etc. For exempt research, research consent statements are used in place of signed consent. Consent forms, applications, and links to policies and procedures are located on the OSPRA website. Once there, select Research Compliance. Exempt research studies are generally reviewed and feedback provided in 5 to 7 working days of application receipt. Completed research proposals and required documents are to be emailed to Tina Wright at tmwright@valdosta.edu. Protocol review number 2. Expedited. This is where a final review is conducted and approval is authorized by 2 IRB members. It may include a collection of data through non-invasive procedures regularly performed in a doctor's office. Data collected from voice, video, digital, or image recordings is made for research purposes, and a signed video or audio release form is required. Informed consent is also required. Consent documents must be securely maintained for 3 years, then destroyed. According to 45 CFR 46.110, there are no age restrictions. However, no more than minimal risk to participants is allowed. Templates, forms, and links to policy and procedures are located on the OSPRA website. Once there, select Research Compliance. Research proposals and required documents are to be emailed to Tina Wright at tmwright@valdosta.edu. Protocol review number 3, full review. For full review, reviews are conducted at a convened meeting of the entire IRB committee. Completed research proposals and required documents should be emailed to Tina Wright at tmwright@valdosta.edu. What is City Program Training? All VSU faculty, staff, students, and affiliate researchers must successfully complete City Program Training at www.citiprogram.org. The City Program's IRB Basic course is IRB approved and required training. To satisfy training requirements, researchers must earn a minimum of 80% on each module. Research protocols will not be approved without successful completion of the required training course. What is Qualtrics? Qualtrics is the only approved and supported online survey platform. It is free for use by VSU faculty, staff, and students. Qualtrics is available through the MyVSU portal. Now we will consider the recruitment process. Why is an IRB statement needed? The IRB statement, an assurance to the potential participants of the research study, is used during the recruitment process and indicates the project has been fully vetted and approved by the IRB. The statement must be included at the bottom of all flyers, research-related correspondence, social media posts, and advertisements. The IRB statement reads as follows. Questions regarding the purpose or procedures of the research should be directed to insert name of researcher at insert VSU issued email address. This study has been approved by the Valdosta State University Institutional Review Board, IRB, for the protection of human research participants. The IRB, a university committee established by federal law, is responsible for protecting the rights and welfare of research participants. If you have questions or concerns about your rights as a research participant, you may contact the IRB administrator at 229-253-2947 or irb@valdosta.edu. Now we will consider consent. Participation consent is required. Research consent statements are used when conducting exempt research studies where the participants are all 18 years of age or older, no identifying information is collected, and where surveys, interviews, focus groups, etc. are used. Signed consent must be obtained when conducting expedited research studies. Examples include parental consent, informed consent, and child assent without signatures. When writing the consent form, be sure to clearly explain what you will do in a way that is easy for participants to understand, and use the most current consent templates to ensure that you have included all required information. Consent is not to be obtained in advance of participation. When is a letter of permission or cooperation, LOC, required? An LOC is required when research is conducted in a setting in which the average person off the street could not walk in and begin interacting with individuals. Examples include schools, clinics, hospital settings, places of worship, and AA meetings. An LOC is also required when research is conducted at another institution. Researchers must obtain an LOC and provide the name and contact information of the person who will act as the liaison. An LOC is also required when research is conducted by VSU faculty, staff, or students in a foreign country. The researcher must provide documentation of local approval, issued by an IRB equivalent authority, as well as the name and contact information of the person who will act as the liaison. Now we will consider IRB submissions. IRB applications must contain the following: the official research title, the researcher's information, the research project start and end dates, the minimum or maximum number of participants, supervising faculty information, dissertation member's name, yes or no questions answered on page 1, the research category selected on page 2, complete responses to the IRB questions on page 3, and required signatures in which DocuSign is permitted. IRB applications must have the following attached to the IRB submission: the letter of cooperation or permission, or LOC, the city program score report, informed consent, assent, and/or research statement, data collection instruments, survey, interview, and/or focus group questions, and Qualtrics survey links. All completed protocols must be emailed to Tina Wright at tmwright@valdosta.edu. If you're unsure about which application to submit, the category to choose, or consent form to use, email Tina Wright. For any questions regarding any of the information in this presentation, email Tina Wright. Tina M. Wright is the Compliance Officer in the Office of Sponsored Programs and Research Administration. She can be reached by phone at 229-253-2947, by email at tmwright@valdosta.edu. The OSPRA website is www.valdosta.edu/OSPRA.